Have you ever found yourself or noticed a loved one slipping quietly into tiredness that sleep doesn't fix, losing the spark for past hobbies, or simply feeling unlike yourself? As we age, life hands us unmistakable changes: retirement, emerging health concerns, the grief that comes with losing friends or partners. It's no wonder we might be feeling off. But here's a truth everyone needs to hear. Depression is never just a normal part of getting older. The sadness that sometimes creeps in, the lost zest for life, are not badges of aging. They are warning lights, and ignoring them brings consequences that ripple through families, friendships, and health. Older adults in particular are vulnerable to this silent shadow. Unlike in youth, where depression is often seen with clear sadness or open declarations of feeling down, in those over 60, depression hides behind other masks: fatigue, aches, forgetfulness, or simply withdrawing from what once mattered. It's all too easy to chalk these up to age, to brush off the fatigue, the loneliness, forgetfulness as just another gray hair appearing. But make no mistake, left unaddressed, depression isn't just something that dims life. It can increase your risk for heart disease, memory decline, even shorten your years. Yet there is hope. Recognizing the warning signs is not only possible, it is the first and most important step to taking back your life. So, how do we separate aging from depression? How do we spot the difference between a body slowing down and a mind in distress? Let's uncover together the 5 warning signs of late-life depression that most people miss, and what actions you can take starting today to reclaim meaning, connection, and energy in your golden years. The first warning sign: losing interest in the activities that once brought you joy. Maybe you were once an early riser, tending lovingly to your flowers every morning, or perhaps you cherished a weekly bridge night, the hum of conversation and the laughter of friends. Now, you just don't care to participate. The garden sits untended. The invitation to bridge goes unanswered. This isn't simple tiredness or a fleeting mood. This is something called anhedonia, or the inability to feel pleasure. In depression, the chemistry of the brain changes, muting your response to things you used to savor. More than a mood, it is a neurological shift. The good news? This can be reversed. It starts, sometimes, with something as gentle as a short daily walk, or inviting a friend to join you for coffee. Engage support. Take things in small steps. And talk to your doctor, because your enjoyment of life deserves to return. The second sign: persistent fatigue that doesn't budge, no matter how much you rest. Of course, most of us slow down a bit as we get older, but a deep, unrelenting exhaustion that seeps into daily life isn't normal. If everything, from brushing your hair to fixing a simple breakfast, feels impossibly heavy, depression could be at play. Your brain, starved for neurotransmitters like serotonin and norepinephrine, signals your body to conserve what little energy it has. To tell the difference, try keeping a daily log. Are these tired spells lingering for weeks, paired with troubled sleep, feelings of worthlessness, or retreat from company? Review this with your healthcare provider. It is a crucial piece of your story. The third sign: noticeable changes in appetite or sudden shifts in weight. For some, depression blunts the senses, making meals feel like a chore. The taste, once delightful, is now dull. Pounds slip away unexpectedly. For others, the cycle swings the opposite way. Nights spent raiding the pantry, searching for comfort in food, with pounds gradually accumulating. What's happening? Depression upsets not only your mood, but the very systems that regulate hunger and metabolism. Inflammation, loneliness, and hormonal changes can all drive these swings. Tracking your weight weekly and keeping a simple food log can reveal patterns. If your eating has changed dramatically, even if it seems harmless, consider it information, a clue to deeper issues that can and should be addressed. The fourth sign: memory lapses, difficulty focusing, or confusion that goes beyond senior moments. Forgetting a birthday here or there is normal, but if it's happening frequently, paired with low energy or sadness, it may be so-called pseudo-dementia, a mental fog mimicking true dementia but rooted in depression. The difference? Pseudo-dementia is reversible. When depression is treated, clarity often returns. So if you or someone you care about is consistently misplacing things, having trouble tracking conversations, or struggling to find words, don't simply dismiss it as aging. This is your time to reach out. Providers can distinguish between depression, dementia, and other causes, and with support, improvement is absolutely possible. The fifth warning sign: retreating from friends, loved ones, and social pleasures. Perhaps you were once the host, the organizer, the family's heart. Now phone calls go unanswered. Invitations are declined. The world, once vibrant, grows smaller with each passing week. Isolation and depression often feed each other. One begets the other, in a cycle that is hard to break. The less you interact, the more your mood sours. The more you withdraw, the less energy you have to change course. Small, gentle efforts make a substantial difference. A shared walk, a weekly call, even contact with a beloved pet or online support group can be a first domino in reversing isolation's grip. But why do these signs matter so much? Because acting now on the very first symptom is transformative. Depression at any age is not a verdict. It isn't simply to be endured. Not only is it treatable, but older adults may actually respond better than younger people to interventions as simple as talk therapy, exercise, improved nutrition, and when appropriate, medication. When recognized, depression becomes an open door to better days. Let's meet Evelyn, age 72. Not so long ago, Evelyn began losing her words. She'd fumble in conversation, forget names of friends, and even once got lost on her way home, a street she'd driven for decades. Her family feared early Alzheimer's, but her doctor was thorough, listening to the whole story. It turned out Evelyn wasn't just losing her memory. She'd also quit her painting group, given away her garden tools, begun sleeping more during the day, and was skipping meals out of lack of appetite. The culprit was not dementia, but depression. With counseling, a walking routine, and help re-establishing good sleep, Evelyn's mind cleared. Today, she's back to painting and even mentors young readers at her local library. For Evelyn, and for many, recognizing these signs led not just to more years, but to better years. Stories like hers prove that with the right support and treatment, reclaiming one's vitality and joy is possible, no matter the age. Let's recap the 5 warning signs seniors often miss when depression creeps in. The loss of interest in once cherished activities, fatigue that shadows your days, no matter your rest. Significant changes in appetite or weight. Memory or concentration problems that feel new and persistent. And finally, social withdrawal, even from those you love. But depression isn't just feeling sad. It's a medical condition, one that deserves the same compassion, treatment, and seriousness as heart disease or diabetes. It's not a matter of willpower or simply snapping out of it. If you or a loved one are experiencing any mix of these signs, don't wait. The sooner you reach out to a healthcare provider, to a counselor, to someone you trust, the sooner hope can take root and life can brighten again. So ask yourself, did any of these signs resonate with your experience or with someone you know? Silence and stigma have kept too many seniors suffering alone for too long. Share your story. You might discover in the telling that no one is ever alone in these struggles, and your words might be the lifeline someone else needs today. If you are ready to take the first step toward better mental health after 60, remember that help is available, and it's never too late to start. Mental well-being forms the foundation for resilience, curiosity, connection, and wisdom, the very things that make later life rich and meaningful. Take a heartbeat to reflect. Reach out, start a conversation, or take one small action. You deserve to feel alive and hopeful again. And for anyone seeking ongoing support, the journey to mental well-being doesn't happen with a single step, but with many, guided and supported. From strategies for staying connected, gentle exercises for mood-boosting energy, to nutritional tips and emotional self-care, each new habit is a seed planted for a brighter tomorrow. The strongest people are those who ask for help when it's needed. Depression in those over 60 is not inevitable. It's not a character flaw, and it isn't simply time marching on. It's a medical concern, one that calls for attention, kindness, and intentional action. Every stage of life can be filled with purpose, discovery, and connection. And that begins with recognizing when something is amiss and taking that brave step toward help. If you or someone you love is experiencing loss of interest, persistent fatigue, appetite or weight changes, memory troubles, or is withdrawing from life, let this knowledge be your starting point. Recovery is not about going back. It's about moving forward with new tools, renewed hope, and the understanding that mental health is just as important as physical health, no matter your age. Onward with hope, kindness, and the conviction that better days are within reach for everyone, especially those who have given so much, seen so much, and still have so much to share. Which of these warning signs spoke to you today? Your reflections could spark understanding in someone else, breaking the silence around late-life depression. By sharing, we don't just help ourselves, we help the countless others searching for reassurance and guidance. Together, through awareness and action, we can brighten the path forward, ensuring that no one faces depression or aging's challenges alone, but with the care and support they truly deserve. Remember, today can be the day that things change. Reach out, seek support, and welcome the next chapter with all its promise into your life.